Yeah,
a
the
little
boards are way more
like,
popular.
oh, driving, oh, yeah.
I remember when they used to be real popular. I'm not against anything, it's, but you would need sponsorship for it, but they're not cheap. How much did you say it was? Did you look into it?
I did, it's pretty cheap.
No, I didn't.
Somebody did it.
It's not, the guy's pretty desperate to get somebody
Really?
to rent it.
Does it would be a sponsor?
Couple $100 a month.
Oh, a couple $100. So when we did it, it was a lot more.
Yeah, cause I emailed
We did it for
him.
3 months, I think it was like 3,000.
Oh, Skip and I emailed him, Skip and I talked about it, and then he just kept it, like, hey, you wanna do this?
Oh.
We're gonna do this? And there's multiple. The other thing that we thought the good thing was is the valley's getting busier with weekenders. So like races have more just campers now than they used to.
Mm-hmm.
Of almost like a, hey guys, there's a race this weekend. So it'd be to promote the races and a heads up of there's a race this weekend. Like you said, it may not work, but if we can get sponsors to cover it, it would do something.
Yeah, if you can get sponsors to cover it, then, you know, it's, do it.
That was actually something on my list too, touching on that, was those, you know, like how we all have those pit signs, that we stand up to our numbers? Can we
Oh,
put
yeah.
them- Can we put them like on,
Like a sandwich board type.
off Dunaway, off, you know, on Evan Hughes, something, hey,
You
live
can put
race
them wherever
course?
you want.
Well, I'm saying like, as the district, is that something we're allowed to do? Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
so if we said, hey, we're gonna get a couple of these and donate them to District 38, saying, hey,
I don't want
live race this weekend?
I don't want them.
Give
them to the clubs.
clubs.
Give them to the club.
Fly 'em to the club.
I'm not gonna get out there and go set up sandwich boards. And
Well, I meant like, the home check trailer, we live in there, I don't know. I'm just saying like, that's something because even when we weren't racing, we were out in cars watching.
I think we have 2 or 3, maybe even 4 in our trailer. That's where they stay. They almost never come out. I think we do put one out, one at sign up. We have them,
Well,
The
but they
problem
just
with our
don't use
desert
them.
is
The
there's
clubs
so
have to
many-
use them.
There's so many entrances to our desert that it makes it really tough. Oh, it's on the dry lake bed, you get
yeah.
Wheeler Road, but you got Plaster City East, West,
Yeah.
it
I
makes
used to
it
go
tough.
around to pits in the area, see if
When
I
we-
could get somebody to race.
I know when we
I
mark,
got like 2.
when we mark during the week, if I see a camp, I go tell them.
Yeah.
I'll pull in, you guys are more than welcome to watch, if you have friends coming, just to throw it out there, but Friday night, hundreds of people show up, and
Yeah.
that becomes the problem. I know on like all the social media websites, that's like the biggest thing, is like, oh, we didn't know there was a race.
Yeah.
Well, nobody put markers out there for your Jeep to go cruise on.
I don't know, I mean, Evan Hughes, Dunbar, there's only a handful of roads to get there unless you're coming, you know, from San High from Aquatee Wells. So even if there was just by the main entrances, like freeway exits, things like that,
Yeah.
just throw a sign that says, hey, race this weekend, this time. I mean, I wouldn't even mind throwing it on my trailer, go to all the races, like I can stop when I get off the freeway and be like,
It couldn't hurt.
you know what I mean,
Like,
like.
it can't hurt.
Well, I remember when you guys had that lighted thing.
Yeah.
That was-
That's it.
Mark, did you have something to say?
Yeah, for our race, we went down with Race in Progress all the way down to Placer City West.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went down.
That was good to see you getting off the freeway.
It can't hurt
You know what I mean?
to do it.
No. You guys like kinda went up everybody with that sign. That thing was cool.
It turned into trouble that night.
We had fun with it that night.
It turned into trouble.
But we didn't post what we were doing.
No, we did not.
I do have pictures on my phone.
I have some on my phone.
It was a fun time. Yeah, so, anything else on that? Moving on. So yeah, sponsorship, if you got it, you know somebody, let me know. Medical coverage. I'll give you just a tidbit of what's going on. Everything, so, as most of you know, Tom Wardrop has like stepped up and he's gonna head that up. He has no medical experience. He's just gonna head it up and let the professionals do what they do. We're gonna get, you know, the BLS, ALS people to work what we need to do. We plan on being local, so they're already gonna be approved to work in the area, and they can do, people that are in that county have been approved to supply certain drugs. If you're not from that area, you haven't been checked out, you're not. Benefit of getting local EMTs or paramedics. I talked to Tom today, we don't wanna like say too much, cause there's a lot of moving pieces to this, guys. I mean, you talked about the radio, that's another piece, right? And when we get the big pieces done, yeah, I'm sure we can get that done. Especially if you guys say you're gonna help. Yeah, that's what we need. We really need somebody to step up. I'll help. I'll do that. I'll find somebody to do that. That's our biggest problem. Anybody, yes, any of these clubs, it's manpower. It's not money, it's not anything else, it's manpower. So, yeah, so it's moving along at a good pace. We're hoping to close a few things during the summer break. We will have some news pretty soon, and when we do, we will put it out there on social media as soon as we can. We are working on, there's a couple of things that you guys, I think, do you remember when we first did the helicopter, people were getting flown out and they were having to pay? We kinda got the coverage, and how much is it now to get the helicopter? 60? $65, yeah, something like that. It covers the whole family for a year. We're gonna be signing hopefully 2 more contracts during the summer, to get things really rolling. So, we may go from, we may have taken a hit, but sometimes, you know, you need to do that, bounce back stronger. And we're hoping that we're gonna bounce back a lot stronger. All the other, so I would go back to the AMA in Ohio once a year, and people would just be like, their district, they've got a plan where if I get flown out, it doesn't cost me a dime. How come they do that? And everybody's like, little District 38 does that? We're the whole state, we don't do that. It's gonna be another one of those type of things if we can pull this off, so. Where everybody would be jealous. And it would be great for our coverage. It would be very nice to have. But that's really all I can say on it. But it will be something that nobody else has. Not even SCORE.
How much, I know you probably don't have the answer, but how much club involvement is the new operation gonna be?
How much club involvement?
Well, yeah, you.
That's gonna be up
You just
to-
talked about manpower and.
It's gonna be up to Tom.
Okay.
But the way he's kind of told me about it, and let's say you guys are putting on a race, you know, maybe I would help out with manning a radio or something, because I had last race. And then the next race, maybe you man the radio or drive somebody around in a UTV, you know? So the clubs actually start helping each other out. The good thing is, we get more help. The bad thing is, now the clubs are on the hook for something else. And then
Well, yeah,
manpower again.
that's
Clubs are on the hook
That's
for
our
99% of what's
concern,
going
you know,
on, it seems like.
Yeah,
That's our
but
biggest
even
concern.
after your race, now you got to be out there to like support the next club too, so it's almost like you're doing 2 races for each one. But it's just a couple people, it shouldn't be a lot of people. You know, hopefully we'll get, you know, some of the old Lessar people will be there to support it.
I mean, it's,
And it won't take too much club, but at this time,
you know,
who knows?
that's why we're
There's-
talking.
There's gonna be a lot on social media, but it's just, we're gonna do the best we can. Should be better. By a lot.
I just wanna write a check.
You just wanna write a check.
I just wanna write a check and not
See, that's the
worry
problem
about it.
with you, millennials. You kids. Let me see, I already put it down. So, you guys might notice that I'm up here by myself tonight. Where my VP, Steve Fenton, has a lot going on in his life right now, some personal things going on, and I think he just needs some time. So, I am actually looking for a VP. Now, I do have some standards, you know, that are pretty high. I'm gonna. Come on, I haven't even got there yet. You know, I'd like, you know, you can send me a resume. Resume equals saying, I'm interested, email, I'm interested, I'm gonna accept that, okay? But seriously, what I'm looking for is, somebody, I've had VPs and, you know, I don't have a secretary right now either, I'm down a secretary. So, the district consists of me and my wife pretty much right now. So that kinda sucks. And I'm trying to kinda do a few things less. So what I'd like is, obviously, secretary, which isn't too much involved in that. It's in the rules, it says what the duties are. The vice president's duties are to be there for me if I, you know, like when I was out of the country, he would step in and take my role. Stuff like that. What's happened for the last 20 years is I've kind of done everything. And the VP is just like, oh, literally, maybe they would schedule this meeting like 4 times a year, that's all they did all year. So I really need a little more help. I'm not getting any younger. I got other things going on in my life too, and I need to get somebody to maybe help me out a little bit. So if you guys are interested, did you explain to me? You're in? Did you? I saw you going. Dude, I'll nominate you in a heartbeat. But that's on mine. But seriously, I'm looking for somebody who, you know, not only wants to just have that title. I'm actually going to want to rely on them some now too. So.
Are they still allowed to race?
Of course, why not?
So if you're not there, they gotta be there.
You're there. You don't have to. You don't even have to go to every race. I don't go to every race. I have to like run the district. You know? Yeah, you're good.
Is this what we should expect in this role? Constant badgering?
Maybe that's why I don't have one.
He's an acquired taste.
It's like tequila, you just go, yeah, you taste it.
But at the end,
Still get drunk. After a few
All
times.
tastes the same.
all right, you know, that position is something I'm gonna be looking to fill. Steve said he would do it to the end of this year. But if I found somebody sooner, it's like that can be done. Anybody right now wanna like raise their hand? Skip. Yeah, I got my first sucker. I mean,
Are you volunteering?
I'm volunteering you, yes.
thing.
I thought that's already, that's the VP.
I already am doing the job.
Oh,
That's pretty much, you already have
Still
it
getting
pretty
the
much.
title.
Skip, you're not going anywhere.
Is this thing working? Because I'm getting texts that people are interested.
You're not going anywhere, Skip.
Is it working? Yeah. Why? 'Cause I'm getting texts. Right there. Alright, so that's a good sign right there. No comments on that, right? Except for Skip kinda. Was it?
Can you elaborate a little more on what you
And he's in the
need?
rule books, like I stated. I don't wanna go into it. If you're interested, you know, you can come see me. It can be a lot, it can be a little, depends on what you're willing to take over. So, yeah. I wrote myself some notes, and it's funny when I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah. I have no idea what I was talking about there, so we'll go on. We are gonna start, the 2025 schedule. The GP is in 10 days or so, 10, 11 days. After that, we're gonna start working on, the 2025 schedule. The presidents, you guys know how we do it. We start off with dates, locations, and, you know, what type of races we're gonna do.
I got the okay from the BLM to submit a, race at McCain Valley for Sprint Enduro.
Wow.
That could be cool.
It'd be really cool.
Yeah, we should talk about that. What's sprint?
3 separate loops,
Oh, okay.
All three.
all under 10 miles.
Pure speed.
Gets progressively harder, and then you re-rack at 12 o'clock, and you have till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon to complete it. So let's say you get a flat, you go in and have a sandwich, change your tire, go back out and hit loop A, B, and C.
We'll talk.
It's a time
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
Three
Replace the
of the
old
clubs have already
style.
been chatting about them.
An enduro.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
replacement.
thought you were thinking an enduro,
It's
really.
a sprint enduro.
It's a Sprint Enduro.
Okay.
It's the fastest you can go.
Yeah, I'll have to like Google it.
You got series that they do up there.
Pure speed.
I have a question really quick about your scheduling.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I'm new.
Oh.
Do you check to see if they're conflicting with other race dates Or
Not
events?
so much, we usually put ours out first, so it makes it very difficult. We have to have our races into the BLM at a minimum of 6 months before the date of the event. So, our first event is on, let's say, early January, we have to have that in another couple months.
Okay.
By then, and score, say, we don't have a lot of competition in the score, let's face it, we're grassroots, they're not. They'll put out theirs late, so people don't get all the hotels and everything. Same with Best of Desert, that's why they did it. They go to these little towns and they don't wanna, inundate them too soon. So, so we usually do ours, and then they come out with theirs, and we're like, okay. So, yeah, and we can't really change it. So, yeah. That's a good question. Let me see, so we're gonna start off with the scheduling, and then we'll probably move on to UTV rules, and then hopefully by September, bikes by October. So if you guys have any rules, this is the time, regardless what discipline. You wanna see a change, bring it up, and we'll take it under advisement. We do have to vote on it. So,
These are rules for what?
any form of racing that we do.
Like a supplemental?
It could be a supplemental for UTVs.
Yeah.
It can be the motorcycle one. So I'll go over it again. UTV rules should start in September and bikes in October. So,
Will there be meetings for those?
Yep.
Say the 10th.
yep. But it's always good when we open it up, and it'll be on social media and stuff. There's a form, and you put in your rule change, bring it in, get it to us before the meeting, that way it can be, distributed. People can read it over. We can ask questions, like if we don't understand, let's say you have a rule change, we don't understand what you're saying, we can ask questions and reword it.
I got a question on that.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a rule change, but I know PCI just came out, I think, to score a green flag that says okay. That you zip tie on, if you're broken down, you zip tie it, and that way if you see the flag, you don't stop, you just keep going. Would that be a rule, or is that something that we can just donate the flags to the district and hand them out when you sign up? And
is that for motorcycles too, quads?
The UTV.
Is that-
it would be just
UTV.
UTV, yeah.
Yeah, they could definitely put them on the roll cage.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
Goggle.
I'm okay,
Yeah.
There's no rule saying you can't do it.
right? I like that, man,
Okay.
thank you.
You do stuff until you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
You guys, pretty much
see a rule
anything
like that,
that's for
I think you
safety.
just need to get them
Maybe
and
September.
pass them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's something where you have to force people
Yeah.
people are gonna wanna do that, I would have one on my truck.
Okay.
They're comp all the
I'd
time.
love to put that thing on my car. I know where he's going with that, but you can
Ellen.
see it.
Okay, I will,
We'll wear out the first one.
I'll plan on bringing some to the next race, for all the
Yeah.
UTV things.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of stuff from UTV cars that we all wanna contribute, but everybody's like, can we do this? Is it loud? What do we do? What do we talk to?
Anything, so this is what I was gonna say, anything for safety, to say, hey, Rob, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be like, cool. I don't even care, do it, if it helps, hell yeah.
Yeah, cause I know
I'll make it, I'll put it out there for you,
Yeah.
let
I know
me know what
the-
you're gonna do, and we'll get Jen to
Yeah,
take a picture of it, put it on social media.
yeah, cause
Show
I
how to
know
work
the
it.
160s, there was quite a bit of cars on the side. And, after the first lap, we kinda slowed down, second lap, we kinda kept going, cause we kept seeing them there.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be cool if we put the flag up, that way you don't have to stop. I know a couple races ago, I know a team flipped in the rock section, and we stopped and we sat there for a good 6-10 seconds, and they just waved us on. But
Yeah,
if they had a flag, that'd be cool. You don't have to stop.
no, I like it.
Cool. Okay.
Anything like this, obviously new to being the president, new to racing cars and stuff, but we all, a lot of us come here from a motorcycle quad background. So any of this stuff, with UTVs, it's, what you guys are talking about, I think it's great. We should have stuff like that. Any of you guys have ideas, don't be like, can't we, spout it out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll either tell you yay or no, or as a
Some of us
collective
are
or
from
whatever, right?
motorcycles and stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean, like, I think it's great, because obviously that's, I mean, you look at the district, that's where it's going UTVs. You can see the bike
Oh,
numbers
now
going
you
down,
got
the
a
UTVs
UTV,
going
you're
up.
like totally.
And it's totally, it's true.
It's 'cause they're getting
He's old.
Hey, I'm all for it.
He's smart enough.
I broke my bike, that's what I said. Yeah, but seriously, I mean, this is a blanket statement. If you have an idea like that, let me know. Show me what it is, maybe take a picture, send it to me. We'll put it out there on social media. And you know, we can't make it a rule like you must have it because somebody shows up last minute, oh, you don't have your green flag?
Yeah.
No, I'm sure if we went to PCI as a
Yeah.
district, they'd give us 100 of these things, we just
I
hand them out.
Oh, like that, so you now you gotta supply every club that.
No, no, no,
tech
no, we'll just
inspection-
do it once.
Yeah.
If
I already-
first
I already
time, we'll
spoke
get
to
to
them.
everybody.
I already spoke to PCI and they're already willing to
Yeah,
go
I'm
to
cool with
PCI.
that, I'm talking about.
I'll do it.
That guy. The guy that just bent in front of your face.
That's not that hard.
I got no problem with that, I usually talk,
No.
if I'm not racing, which seems to be more often than
I
not.
know.
I'm doing all the
Again, it goes back to the club where there's that guy that shows up. I'm not gonna make it a rule is what I'm saying, that they
Alright.
must have a
Yeah.
green flag.
Alright.
You wanna do that, you wanna put them in, show them how, I got no problem. I'm not gonna make it a rule because the guy who shows up late,
I'll try and do it at
you
every
know,
test.
it's, oh, where's your flag, you can't race today, it's like, I'm not gonna do that. I don't think it's worth that. But-
Between me and Skip, we do every test.
Get the flags and walk up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're good.
I'll hope to.
Gotta beat every.
Woody's corner.
No problem.
But yeah, we're just not gonna make it, that's all. Alright, anything else? Good. Finances for the district. This is like so really. If you guys wanna know where the money is or where it has gone, I have a few of these right here printed out, you're free to like take one. I'll go over the basics, the ending balance for 2023. I know you guys think that, you know, billboards are cheap. I've been doing this 20 years, our balance is $12,000. $12,425. We don't make the big bucks. We get minimal amount of money. Most of it goes back into the insurance fund. So, yeah, that's what we got in the bank after 20 years. We do have our sponsors where we've earned like $5,250 for that. We have $714 of month going out to insurance. So we got rider's fees coming in, we got insurance going out, insurance money coming in from the club, and it's all here. You guys, I think it was you guys that were talking about the billboard, excuse me. We're talking about S&F off-road advertising. We did that for a long time, we did that for years, and then really found that it wasn't really making a big round of cake towards District 38. But we did start that on, your request, so we also have that. Take more if you want. End of year awards, if you want to know how much they cost, skill bars, insurance down payment, posters, banquet supplies. I'm just gonna go down the thing. Agent AV rental for banquet, or banquet stuff. End of year jackets, AMA charter. Just like the clubs, we have an AMA charter. AMA sanction from AGP, pins, medallions for GP, insurance for GP, and April insurance. And at the end of that, we are up to $13,640 balance. So guys, these are out here, I don't need one, feel free to take whatever you want. Anybody have any questions on that?
Over here. I mean, the money for the,
Anybody have any questions?
yeah, the money for the surveying,
Yes, it's on there. Oh, that is over there at $41,540.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Good.
Yeah,
I already told you.
yeah, I mean,
I'm,
since
I
last
gotta
year,
put
you
on
got a
this-
lot of volunteers down there.
I've
Help
gotta
out.
put on this GP. So.
Well, I mean, that's only one
I
race
can't
a
do it
year.
before that.
We can do that. We have all
2
year.
races a year.
Okay.
I do by myself pretty much.
I understand, but
And
hey,
it's
I
next
will
week.
help you.
I we run this.
I is willing to do anything we can do to get that surveying going.
Yep.
Let's put it that way.
Yep, it's on my list.
Okay.
And I know you're not gonna let me forget, right?
No, not since last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I got a life. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't understand that.
I'm not gonna say what I'd like to say. I have some things, and I have to take care of family issues and
That's
But you guys,
all
let me
good.
tell you something.
When you get,
No,
when
no,
you
no,
get
no.
a chance.
Let me say what I want to say. You know, sometimes things move smoothly. Sometimes shit happens in your family and you gotta take care of somebody else. I don't have as much time as I did 2 years ago.
Okay.
I probably will in another 6 months,
Okay. Fair enough.
okay?
Well, you will now, Skip's VP.
Fair enough, Rob. That's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna open it up to the floor after one more statement. I do have the GP coming up next week. We always encourage one person from each club to volunteer. Usually Roadrunners is the only one that does that. So I still am looking for a few volunteers. I'm getting texts actually tonight on volunteers, so I don't know exactly what I need, but I would love, you know, it's at Blythe, I know it could be a drive. It does pay 90 points for UTVs or motorcycles, so. If you guys are interested, hit me up, hit the district line. So at this time, I'm gonna open the floor to anything you guys wanna bring up, anybody wanna bring something up? Like the radio thing with you.
We can do it.
Already, I did.
But we kinda covered it.
I had someone text me saying that Facebook feed cut 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So they have questions and now they're blowing up my phone because
Tell them to contact Joe, give me your number.
Great.
I guess you're next.
So, I've been helping Skip out with the registration and just kind of learning how everything has just been flowing. And I got together with, what was her name? Martha, and just kind of like look to see how everybody's doing things. And a lot of times what, especially at the first race of this year, you know, we were checking the d38 card, you know, cause all the memberships renew at the end, at the year end.
Yep.
And, you know, just making sure that everybody's registered with AMA, except for the UTVs, which I've had quite a few lessons learned. But I was just kind of curious, cause the one main thing that I've heard that was consistent is like, oh, I didn't have to do this at the last race. Oh, like when we're trying to reinforce, you know.
I've been hearing that for a long time.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
So what I was just saying is like, you know, we're as a club trying to reinforce, you know, what we need to do to make sure everything's, there. Although I have been a little bit more lenient because I kind of learned from Skip here that it's okay. And that things, you know, if they do fall through the cracks, that it would get caught. But, I was just kind of wondering if maybe all the clubs can kind of have the same system. Because when you do hear, oh, I didn't have to do that last race, then you have to explain, oh, well, you know, that was a different club. Because everybody just kind of assumes that it's the same, that we're the same every time. So I just don't know if it's possible to just maybe,
It's
if
not.
we do come up with a process or a procedure to maybe
Yeah,
kind
I've been
of
asking for that for about
doing
20
that?
years.
Okay, well, I mean.
And the clubs get in here and they say, I'm gonna do that, Rob, you got it. Next race they don't.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, if there's just something like we could just put, like, you know, instructions down on how, just,
Yep,
yeah, like, I mean,
I've asked for that too.
we're all about lessons learned, right? Like, and just
Yep.
kind of making it go faster. And there's in some registrations, you know, don't go fast, and, you know, people wanna get in and get out, I understand that, but,
It should be pretty fast,
it
it's
should
online.
be, and I think like last time at the speed limit, 100, I mean, I think we had a pretty good system, we got people in and out. Right?
I'm listening.
Yes, we did.
I will say too, the Motor Tally makes like, cause I sign up 4 cars,
Yeah.
it's so much easier to do it than when we were doing 5 different, each club
Yeah.
had their own thing, so that the fact being from a racer, that it's on one thing makes that end of it a lot better.
Yeah.
And also know the results like right now,
Yeah.
like that too.
Yeah.
Alright,
I have a question, comment.
I got you down to write the process, though.
Okay, Skip, when do you wanna get Skip there too?
Because, seriously, preaching to the choir, that helps the district a ton. Okay, and AMA, having AMA cards, you know, it goes back to your insurance, what you're covered for and what you're not. We do the best we can, it's understood, but if you're not doing the best you can, if you're not doing your due diligence, that's kind of a chink in your armor, and if there's an accident, and there's a lawsuit, you know, they're like,
Well, it takes
well.
just that one,
Huh?
it just takes the one to.
No,
ruin
it takes a
or-
pattern actually.
Well, yeah.
You know, if you do your due diligence and you miss one person, you know, they look at it and they're like, well, look at, they had 125
Yeah.
races, they got 124. They were checking.
Yeah.
Somebody slipped by. That's okay. But it's when, oh, you weren't even checking?
Yeah,
That's when you got a problem.
yeah.
You got something?
What I was gonna say was on the pre-entries, isn't there an area where they have to put their AMA number and their District 38 number on the pre-entry?
I don't think the AMA number.
Yes.
I
AMA, AMA,
thought-
yeah.
It goes automatically.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
What's racing?
He writes it. I'm asking him.
Well, bikes it's AMA,
Okay.
but there's nowhere to put it for the cars.
Yeah, it's still me.
Right, but what I'm saying is, there usually is a lot of bikes and they stack up, but if the AMA number and their District 38 is on the pre-entry, in order to get that pre-entry in,
Like a required deal.
right,
I can't check their AMA number or their bike from my house.
okay, so they
It's
can just
online.
write.
They have to bring it to you, that
Okay,
sign of the
so we
thing.
still need
You
to
know,
see both the
they put a
parties.
number, sometimes people lie, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right.
Some people lie to us. I don't wanna pay for AMA, here's my number. You gotta run it, you gotta see the card.
Yeah,
You can't just take their word for it. When you do online sign up, we're taking their word for it, because we have no way to verify.
Yeah, well,
But at sign up, you definitely do. And if they don't have that card, or a receipt, or something, we can check it. Do you have the ability to check it on your phone? No? Okay. Some people have, the AMA really doesn't like to give it out, because they feel like they're, I don't know, infringing on people's rights or something. But, you know, you can check AMA. I don't even wanna do that. If they don't have the card or a receipt, make them sign up for a day pass. That's what my wife does when we do the Grand Prix. You don't have it? Buy it. Get on your phone and buy it. You can do it online. And they'll do it and they'll go, okay, here it is. Well, you're in. Without it, go home.
And also, I don't think people, for the AMA card, because I know the UCs don't require that, but I think a lot of people don't realize that expires at the end of the year.
But it expires when it expires for that first
That
one.
it does, yeah, no, it does, yeah, it expires, it does expire at the end of the year.
Mine expires
Whether
in
you
March
buy
or April.
In November, right?
No, it's a 12-month cycle.
Okay, well, that's not what I was told at a couple of minutes ago.
The
Trust
district,
me.
Yeah.
the districts.
Mine expires in March or April. When does yours expire? When does yours expire?
Mine's a life, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Mine is 24.
I misspoke, I meant D38, I meant like the D38.
Oh, D38, you're totally correct.
Yeah, I misspoke, I own it, I misspoke, and it's the D38, so a lot of people don't know at the end of the year.
Who doesn't know? What kind of people?
Oh, there is
No,
people
like,
that,
Not the
they're
racers.
lying to you.
Not the
They will
racers.
say whatever they wanna say,
I know,
those
but-
guys know.
but-
They know what they
Wait,
do.
wait, wait, I'm
And
still
when they
trying to
say-
find out who lies. Is it the racers?
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're lying.
No, I
Yeah,
just,
right.
like, they say, oh, we don't know that, I'm like, well, okay, but you can go on this, like, I make them.
It's because they don't
I
wanna
make
go
them
get it,
go.
they'll tell
I
you,
know.
oh, we didn't check it, the club didn't check it last time.
Yeah, I
You'll
know.
get 10 out of
Right,
10
right.
store.
The district's different. but-
And if any of the clubs, I printed up, if you guys saw it, I printed up a QR code on like a 40 by 32 sheet that we put on side trailer that takes you straight to the day pass. I can make that a poster for all the clubs.
No, he's gonna put it in
If
the
they're
process.
If they're in your line and they don't have it, go stand over
Put it
there
in
and deal
process.
with it. Get out of our line.
Yeah.
Go deal with it over
Seriously,
there.
you know what,
Move
and
through.
what happens if all the if all the clubs are consistent and doing the same thing and everybody's checking, you're not gonna hear that no more.
No.
Cause they're gonna be like, I can no longer go to District 38
Exactly.
and save money and lie. What's it?
I'm like an alternate way to lie or save money.
It happens all the time.
I don't wanna say like people are lying, but at the same time.
I'm saying it.
Try, you know, it's a great idea.
They lie to my
That's
face all the
everyone
time.
stays on course the whole time.
Get online, buy it.
People are never off course. Come on.
Yeah, never. You see that tragedy.
GPS is for safety.
So the GPS files that we give our racers cannot be trusted because they go from GPS point to GPS point. There might be a wiggle.
It was the three,
You know,
everything
yeah.
else was turned.
They're for kind of a reference only.
I
Not
know
everybody has it.
our club goes out, and all I do it myself is we go mark the course, and then I go run the course, and then exactly.
That's it. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, go out Friday afternoon and do it.
Road runners doesn't do it that way. I know that. So it's got. Anybody else for open?
I do think having a standard
Yeah.
procedure for all the clubs is good
Yeah.
because if we just talk about things, people forget things. But if there's a document that's real, then you
I
can
would
hold
love
all
to
the
have
clubs accountable. It's just like in business, you have an employee handbook, you sign it, and then you say, you were told right here. So if all the
Yeah.
clubs agree upon it, I think that's a great thing to have
Yeah.
the same thing because in the beginning, year or two ago, it was like, wait, what do I do? Where are we going? What's happening? This is different than last time. So
So I've been fighting this battle as long as I've been pro. And yeah, when we went to from marking down scoring, no floodway, arc defender, then we're marking, binders. Somebody's gonna go electronic. I don't want to do that. There's resistance to change. And I think we're all kind of getting on the same page though. So it's like, maybe it's a good time to strike while the iron's hot and get everybody going. I think it's,
Good time
Andy.
during the break.
One good thing we found is if you have somebody in your club that speaks Spanish, to have them, well, no, like when Arturo Saul shows up.
Martha's our person.
When Arturo shows
Arturo
up, the
brings
whole
like
crew
10
comes.
guys that
Right?
don't speak English, and
We
they
have
don't
one.
have AMA cards, so like Ali and Mauricio luckily, but it's not a bad thing to have somebody hanging out there that can explain it to them, cause that's been our biggest holdup is 10 guys and they show up.
I know they come together, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show up at the same time and you're like,
And it's great having them, and they're great guys. It's
Yeah.
just they don't have any idea. They just heard the super fast guy from Mexico's racing. We're there.
We're going too.
So
Yeah.
so
That doesn't have to be in the process. But a suggestion.
if we're gonna standardize stuff, we also standardize the GPS file. I know it's a UTP only thing. I know it's a sore subject. I know last meeting
Make it as a
people
white
were
thing.
purple, like a standard file, because like
Well,
the last race, half people were going. Skip had it, and Skip was like, "The hell? I'm just helping." And then
Yeah,
I went into a trailer, and the words that I heard, I'm not gonna say who said it, said, "I don't have time for that," to pass out the file. And I'm like, we're going into a blind. So some people got
somebody
it,
in the trailer.
some people got it.
Not you.
It wasn't Mark. I'll say that it wasn't him.
I would never say anything like
I'll take
that.
the other
But-
kids here, but GPS,
Like
Yeah.
from like
I'm with you.
I mean, I've been doing this for a few years now, and coming from a business standpoint, that's horseshit. I would never say that because at the end of the day, all of our races
Yeah.
are essentially
Oh, the
customers.
customers, yeah.
If you tell a customer, I don't have time for you, you better fucking make time. I just gave you $200, $300 that's part of my package, Like that
Yeah.
to me, and it wasn't to me directly,
It's-
it was to another gentleman that walked in, and I was just like, I ain't even ask if that's how this is. Or we got told,
Well,
give us your email, we'll email
yeah,
it to you.
and that's not how it's supposed to work either.
So, my suggestion,
That is kind of,
well, it's been, every race has been
I
different.
know.
Some are good, some are bad. And also from another racer perspective,
I like the way Jason does it, okay, but
I don't
Michael doesn't do that.
personally like having hazards. I know Ryan was volunteering to do it. He marks it at lots of hazards when he marked the horse. I think he was helping out for full throttle. And we lifted it like 100 times. I'm like, where the hell is the hazard? There's nothing on the course. So if we just have just a tracer, beautiful. We can mark our own hazards.
Oh, you mean on the GPS file?
Yes. So we had some of
Oh,
that.
so the GPS files aren't supposed to have it. He's probably really diving into it.
Well, he was being, I will say, he was being
And
very,
he's trying to
very
be
safe,
helpful.
and it was. But I think it's for
Yeah,
more
it's-
to
well, it's supposed to be
like
just-
3 hours to do that.
Yeah.
It should be that, it should just be a simple drive course.
The best way is after it's marked, do it the way, you know, IA's doing it. Drive the course, take that file, and give it away. And it should be able to be gotten, not through a email.
Yeah.
You should be able to come down with your chip.
Well, that's one thing
Thank
I
you.
think too. I mean, we all come up with our RFID. Like if you say, hey, if you want the file, here's a laptop. It takes a second. I mean, we put our
Yeah.
thing on there. It probably doesn't take much longer. I don't know about manpower, but if you make it say, hey, if you want the Porsche, you need to bring your own chip.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, that's kind of where I've moved that way because, I don't know, I've lost a whole crap load of SD cards.
Right?
I still got your 3 cards.
Well, I mean, it's fine.
Do they
It's
say
like
rev grips on them?
That's right, Charles.
Oh, right, sorry.
Different company. Huge.
Oh.
But the point is, like, if that's something that helps, like we were talking about at the shop, like Brandon was like, well, that's today, underneath.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, we're like, dude, if we need to donate 50 cards, where did I think you and your brother were talking about that too? Like, if there's stuff that we can do like that to contribute, like I know they say there's not manpower, there's not enough sponsors, all these things you hear at these meetings, but tell us what we can help with. Like,
I don't
SD
think
cards.
SD cards are
You know?
a solution. I think for the club just to have that available.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah,
solution.
I think just.
You bring your own, you know, you be responsible for you. We don't want, oh, God, I forgot the SD cards on my counter.
Well, cool. We have these ones that are $10 right now. You can buy one with, stuff like that.
But it's better if you bring it, you're not, it's important to you. You're not gonna forget it, are you?
It's always in my Lawrence,
So.
or some
I mean,
people say Lawrence.
The GPS is kind of run an evolution of how to supply it. We started out posting it online. Joe had a site where you can click the link and get it because we're trying to make it so that it's less
No, you're fine.
something the club has to do. Because it literally takes an hour plus to go drive around the course on a Friday after we're done staking everything to get that file and then put the file on the computer. How do I process it? So a few races I've just taken the SD cards because it's easier for me to have SD cards, pass them out and do that. And I found that I lost a lot of SD cards. It's a lot easier on my end actually if you bring the SD card and we can just pop it in and load it. And that's what we tried to do at speed limit. And I've tried it, but we've had issues. Jason's car broke at our speed limit race, and he has a GPS in his car, so we had to go back, and that's why we were dicing out the lead now file. I was having trouble with the lead now.
You know what?
It's only so much I can do, to convert the file, check it, okay, then I've got to distribute it to everybody else.
What if we did, you guys bought some cards and gave them to the clubs?
Even if we have like an
And
exchange
then,
program.
exactly, if you want the file, you trade us a card. Now we have a blank one, you have the one with the info on it. But the problem I've seen, since I've been doing tech with him, do you know how to put this in my GPS?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Oh, I know.
I'm looking for your fire extinguisher, buddy.
Yeah, no.
That's all I know.
I mean, it's ultimately not that hard to do it. Once you've done it a few times,
I'm a pure idiot. I figured
pretty
it out.
easy to load a GPS file.
I mean, that's something that we're talking with Brandon, and he's like, dude, if I have to buy 50 of them, I don't care.
And it's, I mean, honestly, I do the check-in, so I know exactly what kind of time it takes to put a transponder, scan it, get you shit. You guys have all walked and watched me do it. It's easier for me if you guys bring your own cards, then I'm not responsible for where's my SD card or
on the racer.
I'll put it on you, and then for you to put it on your device, that's all on your port. And that's how it should be, you know, if I have time, I'm happy to punch on your little rants and
They'll take a
rant
breath.
just as much as anybody else does. But, you know, I'm kind of limited on that.
Okay. Yeah, somebody else wants to talk.
No, I got a question about the GPS and the rules. This
Yeah.
was brought up a while back about GPS, it's not official. It's not
Okay.
yet official into the rules, I thought. Which, I'm just curious.
Coming from a ribbon chaser, I understand what you're talking about too, I'm like, GPS.
I mean, I'm learning this as we go. and-
Well, we're gonna put it in the process maybe or something, I don't know, we'll let it. But we should really say how we want it to go, club to club, just like sign up. Because this is kind of part of sign up tech and all that stuff.
Aren't some of these things maybe that the district should take on and teach the clubs instead of just
We
trying
are.
to get the clubs to figure it out?
We tried. I've been, that's kind of what I've been repeating here. I've been trying to do this, trying to get people to jump on board.
Well, you gotta-
I know you want me to do it, I know.
I didn't
I
say
don't,
you.
well, who's the
No.
district?
Me, Skip, you.
Right. And
whoever
everybody
else
says,
wants-
I will help
every
you, Rob,
steward-
in this
everyone-
meeting.
Everyone that signs up to be a steward or volunteers to be a steward should be helping out, teaching these clubs how to do things. I try to go as many UTV, texts as possible.
Yep.
If I'm not doing something else, and I'm down there, I've gone to every race this year that I could go to, and I've only raced one. Say it.
All right, but I'm gonna say what I was already saying. I get in this meeting, somebody says, yes, Rob, I'm gonna help you out, I'm gonna do that. Crickets. I've been beating this drum forever, dude. And you can get mad at me and say I'm not doing my job or whatever. Doesn't matter. I've been asking for help. Everybody says yes in this room. I get out of this room, I don't hear a lot of yeses. I know Dolly's getting good. Yeah, she's got Skip. Yeah, it's a double team. Yeah, but seriously, you know, I can only do so much. I've tried to standardize the way we do our SRPs from club to club. It will make the BLM's life easier too. Trust me, making their life easier is important. We live and die on their land. If I can make their job easier, where they're more happy with us, hell yeah. We get more leeway. They're like, you guys are great, you did this, you did that. So it's good to get standards, it's good to write them. I do a lot of that at work, it's like, you think I wanna go home and do it too? It's like, I want help. I want it for 20 years.
Careful what you ask for.
The other end is enforcing that though.
No. Well, you know, I mean, I've been asking the clubs, you know, do things. You know, check for AMA cards, district cards. Some do, some don't, as you found out. You know, I can't, you know, sit there and, what am I gonna do, punish them? How do I do that? You're not doing it right, you're,
You can't put on your race next year.
yeah, I'm gonna snap your hand, yeah, it's like, you know, you can't put on any more races. Then
No,
we're
but
done.
all you can do is just put it out there and put it in.
That's all I can do.
And give it to each club, you know, and hopefully they can, adapt. And if anybody
Yeah.
has suggestions, they could always speak up as well.
Yep. Yep. Anybody wanna write about the processes?
You got another question? No, not that. I got another
Oh.
question.
Yeah, I saw it. You saw it.
Oh, I don't mind. I wrote SOPs for years. Like, also enforce it too. So I'll walk around with some work on or something.
Just carry it down. What do you got, bud?
Questions about volunteer points. Instead of having, for at least for me,
Is this for AMA or for UTV?
UTVs? Sorry, UTVs.
That's different.
Instead of having volunteer points to give you 90, I personally don't think volunteering, because I volunteered multiple times because I have racing here. But I think maybe like if there's 4 cars in your class, maybe you get like 5th or something, but 2nd to me seems a little. I also think volunteering.
Why would you volunteer to get less points though?
Well, so my next point, what if the volunteer points you had to volunteer like if you're chasing championships, right? We battled all last year.
Make it mandatory?
Make it mandatory. If you want championship, you have to volunteer at least once or twice a year. You know, it's not hard. There's bike only races, there's UTV only races, there's
Just write this
GPs.
down, make sure we get that into the rules.
Yeah, hey, that's my line.
You
But
did
you know
I'm
what I
gonna say,
mean?
so that rule thing's coming up.
It's
said you wanted
not a
help.
Because, I mean,
Yeah. Verbal doesn't do any good though, you guys know that, right?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. I don't think the points necessarily should determine a championship. I mean,
What?
we,
Wait a minute.
Hold on a minute.
so
About that.
Ryder and I we were like nuts and butts last year in points. And then we both got the volunteer points and it still ended up the same, but like, there's people like championships, I think you guys, right?
Yeah.
Lost a championship over volunteer points.
And he dropped out 5 minutes. He saw us line up, and he actually drove off the course and went and volunteered that race.
So if championships
Well,
are
like,
won and lost
yeah,
over volunteering, to me, it's, if you're gonna volunteer, you should do it to help, like, if you wanna chase a championship, you should have to volunteer, not volunteer and get second place points.
So I'm gonna show you that, that's up to you guys. I'm not kidding.
What? I didn't hear you, sorry.
It's up to you guys. Cause we're gonna be doing the rules. We're gonna be doing the rules, right?
Well, how many UTV racers do we have right
No,
now?
We're not doing
Okay,
it.
you said it's up to me, I'm like, no.
It's up to you guys, the UTV racers, when we do the UTV
Well, I mean, we have
rules.
half the pro production of the group.
Alright, we'll move on. We'll
That's
cut
just,
that.
that's just my thoughts on that though.
I know, I was gonna like, hey, I get it. You don't care, so.
I don't think it's.
Anything else serious, you guys?
I still have this.
I was gonna say, I wanted more volunteer points, cause I have to put on 2 races a year and only get 1 time to volunteer. I'm out of this championship already.
If we do something where
Volunteer
like,
for bikes.
if you race
I
every
can
single
only do one.
race, you get bonus points.
What you can do.
No.
I got it.
Who else can afford to fix our car?
You want bonus points for what?
If you race like every race.
I mean, that's how a lot of other off-road stuff is. You get 5 bonus points for attendance. If you pay and participate and support every race, then you get X bonus points. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 5, but 1 and 5 would be the difference.
What series do that?
Yeah. I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of that.
Off-road racing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Off-road, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean we can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Again, I'm gonna go back to the rules are coming up. Write it up. You don't have to write it up like a lawyer. Just so I can understand.
You might wanna address too that in this series, it's not scored a car, that it's 50 feet off the markers. That might be a rule you guys need to address, because
It's already-
a lot of those guys that are out there in the cars do not.
Oh, the bikes
abide by
are doing
those
that
rules.
Bikes never go more than that because they got those feathers. They fall over.
But we had GPS.
Yeah, but we
Oh,
have
we could probably do
GPS.
that.
Well, that's a good thing I actually do have a question about. So when we're
That is.
Plaster City East, wherever you going, we hit the trestle, we start heading back towards the lake bed. The lanes are doing this. You can't, like, you're not gonna jump across bushes to try to stay in a lane that they're crisscrossing.
Nobody's gonna.
There's a difference between short coursing and shaving.
Yeah,
There's
or
a difference
multiple
between where it
lanes.
goes, where it's ridiculous,
Yeah.
and it's not ridiculous, and we all know the line there.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
You know, when it's a parallel line, nobody's really caring, okay?
Yeah. And like on the lake bed, I mean, a lot of times you're.
It's when it goes like
200
this,
yards
we're
off
going
just to
like
get
that.
clean air.
Here
you
it
know?
does, if you're going parallel, it's like, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about cutting the course.
Yeah.
You had more?
Yes, I still have more, sorry. I'm here on like 5 people, people are texting me because of the live feed, sorry. On corners that are like, for instance, the Monster Mash, we had an incident with Jesse and Kayla. That corner, like when we were in a train at dusk, the natural terrain kind of led us into Kamikaze Wash, right? But there was one single little marker that none of us saw, but when you're going frame by frame with your GoPro, you can see that it was like, oh, go left.
You have a
Stuff-
GPS?
I didn't have GPS that time.
Wait, what are you talking about, GPS?
So that's
They were
when,
complaining about the markers and it's natural terrain, but we give you a GPS file.
No.
It has a GPS.
Don't, never rely on a
Especially
freaking.
when guys are just snapping lines.
Mark the
Snapping
core.
lines.
I watched
I know you guys
it.
are doing it, you know,
I know exactly.
if you're snapping lines,
That's
you can't
what-
rely on it.
You can't, it's not accurate.
And
So-
sometimes
that's
the
what
dust,
Michael does.
people do rely on it because they're in the dust.
It's racing, we can't mark every, I mean, it's like,
Motorcycle
I have a
racing.
point.
I was just
Most
merely
No,
giving an
there's-
example.
And Mark.
you and one other person are the only ones.
Well, I was one of 6 cars, and I was directly behind Jesse.
I have
when it
no
happened.
idea where you're going with that, so.
So my point being is on when there's a hard corner or something or some sort of stay here things, because when you're in 5 cars, 6 cars, you're lucky if you can even see the car, let alone the course.
Okay.
Orange fencing. We're talking about totally being open to donate to clubs, everything with stakes.
Oh God, I don't want any more of that stuff.
Come Mark.
How many people are you gonna get to, how many days are we gonna put up
Yeah.
orange fixing for you guys to
How many
stand
head-ons
for?
do you want, Jason?
Well,
If you can't see the
slow
car,
down,
slow down.
slow
Yeah,
down.
That's
yeah.
honest
You
to
gotta
God.
slow
On a
down.
dirt bike, you have to slow down in a car.
If you can't
guys
see,
just drive
slow
like
down.
this because you're in a cage.
But it's not necessarily slowing down. You have other people coming head on at you.
That was a freak accident.
What are we talking about?
When Caleb
Caleb-
got
When
backwards
Kayla
on
got off
the
course,
course.
he hit
So that
really
was
good.
one.
Still going backwards on the course. What?
At the game, there
That
was
was totally
there's on
inappropriate.
GoPro. We have 13 cars going in every direction. Yeah.
Because guys are driving, thinking they know where the course goes, in the dust and not letting up, and they just go.
Sorry, I'm not like that.
Alright.
It's a hard thing. I've raced cars for a lot of my life.
I know.
If you can't slow down and see the marker, you need to slow down. That's the problem, is all these guys just trying to get.
Corners should be marked with the 3-2-1.
If you get off the course a little, you're not seeing those markers.
Absolutely.
Well, if you blow a corner, don't we normally have like
Wrong way.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
used to seeing south of the border, is wrong way, to tell you to get the hell off.
North of the border too.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's supposed to be that way.
so why don't we just throw wrong way signs on it when we blow
We
a
do.
corner?
We do.
If you're in a group of 10 cars in the dust again, that first car goes through it,
You're
no
not
one
gonna
sees
see
it.
it.
Yeah, you're not gonna see
You don't know
it.
how many times we go pick up markers and wrong ways are knocked over
Yeah.
early. I agree, I think.
I was trying to
he's got
go to
the right
the bushes.
attitude of, it could be marked.
You're gonna knock.
Well, not
you're
even
gonna knock down the
necessarily
ribbons.
marking, but like
Yeah, so-
if
Yeah,
it's
whether
a
it's
hard
no fence.
corner or there's something that's like.
Yeah.
And my point on that course specifically, because there was a super bad accident. But that, if you went that way, you also end up a half a mile down, you're crossing the course again. I almost got T-boned by Stephen Fick, because we went that way after them, because we were going to trying to find, we're radioing and nobody's coming.
Do you have any more questions?
No, but this, my point being is,
I don't know where we're going with this.
if we have corners that can take you anywhere near the course again, like when the course comes close, or if there's a hard left or something, hard right, whatever it may be, that fence is cheap. It's visible. It's a like the
problem is the first car is gonna mow it down, and you're gonna see him dragging you 100 feet. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the reality of it.
It is.
It's the reality of it. And then he did the same thing, but I watched his GoPro, and like I taught him, don't come back in the same group. He was cross country, trying to come back to the course, trying to stay the hell out of the group. If he did it, chances are there's a bunch of other cars that are doing it.
There's like that does.
So you've got to get out of the groove. That was her mistake, I believe.
yeah.
She was on course back.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean,
I saw the
you
video.
gotta
She
be
crossed
smart
over
about
on tracks because none of us were on course. We all followed.
But you gotta get out of
Jesse
the
was.
groove that everybody's probably.
Jesse was by himself, so he wasn't looking at his GPS next to him. He was just following the car ahead of him.
But I mean, it's racing.
Yeah.
Shit happens. It was just a suggestion. My bad. I won't do it again.
Do you have any more
It's not a bad
questions?
suggestion, it's a matter of time too, like, we're already out there Wednesday.
I know.
You know what I mean, like, and then we're putting out a half mile of snow fence.
If
You
you've,
know,
never,
it's like-
if you've never gone out and marked a course, you need to go out there and do it at least.
Yeah,
once.
exactly.
If you show up on a Wednesday and you're pounding steaks and it's 95 degrees or 105
Even
degrees.
90's hot.
So a little backstory. I've been coming to District 38 since I was like 3. My grandpa's been racing since the 70s out here. I've pounded steaks in my life. I know what you guys are talking about. I've mapped a lot of courses we use. Riding on a blaster behind my grandpa. I know how this works to some degree. I don't know the full. Don't bite my head off. But
I just saying.
felt it coming. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying for a safety thing, it's not fun to watch two of your friends go head on directly in front of you. So,
Off-road
So
is an
maybe
inherently
we'll-
dangerous sport.
What about,
It is.
I mean, in the driver's meeting, you say, cause our first race out, we blew a corner.
yeah.
Right? You know
It
what I mean?
happens.
But we knew not to go back on course. And so, well, the orange fence won't work, right? What about just simple orange cones if you blow a corner? Cause if you run over an orange cone, it's gonna be there for the next car. So that's not dragging behind a car. At least we know where the corner is at. And as a driver, you go, you see a bunch of orange cones, you run them over, don't go back down.
Tell you, the problem with that is you're gonna have to spend an entire extra day.
Yeah, you put in a
with
orange
somebody
cones.
else drives the truck.
Getting them out there, getting them back.
Yeah, the orange cones out.
And then picking them up too, don't forget.
Yeah,
Another day.
I pick them up all the
They
time.
get heavy after about
Yeah, they are.
15 of them.
Right. But I mean,
Yeah. You know,
I don't think
I like the
anybody-
3-2-1 that we
anybody's
did
gonna
now.
argue
Go ahead.
that more marking is not a good thing. No matter if you put the snow fence up and somebody plows it down, you put cones out and somebody drags them halfway across the desert, whatever, it's all gonna be the same. Everybody tries to do their best to mark the courses as best they can.
I think we don't use enough wrong way arrows. I really, you know, I think laying out the course, I've done it. I'm like, oh yeah, 3, 2, 1, well, this is clear as day. When I go up and I pick up the course, I'm like, wow, this course is blown. I should have put it the wrong way. And I might put one in the middle of the trail. This always gets me. There's one in the middle of the trail and that's it. That is the first place to be taken out. Put them in the bushes on the side. Put like one here, one there, one there. One gets hit.
and I think we got like in like green, you know, all our flags on the course are normally orange.
The wrong way to white.
Yeah, we'll just do them in a very contrasting color. You'll never see the rest of the course unless you're off that, you know, you're
Right.
off.
They got,
W, big old W black.
when you see that one,
So one thing
We
that
don't-
we used to do when Ben was around was the big green T for turn,
yeah.
like 200 yards ahead. Didn't tell you which way the turn was. But the thing is once you're in that freight train of cars, you're not seeing anything. You're just chasing that car ahead of you. And that's where this, like, it all goes out the window after that first car. That's not a bad idea, because we didn't want to tell them, oh, it's gonna be a left up here.
'Cause they start shaking.
GPS. So, we've tried a bunch of stuff, and it's just that once you're in dust and you're in that race mentality, you're on that guy's bumper, and if the first guy goes the wrong way, then you all are going the wrong way, and if one guy before that, oh, I gotta get back. It's just, broke ribs or whatever, and told me, oh, I thought wrong way meant I had to just go as fast as I could back towards where I think the course was. Legitimately said that. So,
With an honest face.
it's kind of it's a really tough one, because once that gets knocked down, I agree with you, I'm not arguing with you, it's just, we've tried so many things, and it's, one car knocks something down, or one car goes through it, and that whole thing is out the window.
I mean, sometimes it also works against you. One guy was going that way, and I did the course one that way. I was in first place. So sometimes it works against you. Later. So it's all, and also it's the big thing on your co-pilots too.
But, you know, we're marking these for motorcycles. No.
We can tell.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta, we're not gonna, you know, change if we, you know, so we can't, not that coming like that. You have something else on
I
your
have
phone?
another one.
Go ahead.
So my last, I'll say my last one is after the bikes are done. I mean, I know it's
Clear pit road.
No, not even that.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing I tried.
Because just like UTVs, bikes knock down markers.
Oh, you want to go around?
Just even a side lap, like if nothing else, just the big hazards. Because like this last one.
A sight lap?
Not a side lap for us. Someone go
I thought you
like a
meant-
sweep lap, probably a better
Well,
term.
there's two sweepers that go out in it, like,
But they're not repairing the course.
no, but they can at least look and see if, like he's saying, the big hazards, they're still marked.
Yeah, because we know if there's 10, 15 hazards,
they're not.
I don't know. It's just something to throw out there because I know
They
now
get
by the time
back
we get
here.
there,
We all sit there for 25 minutes at the start line. It's not, we just about talked to everyone that wants to talk to us while we're sitting there waiting for the race to start.
But I mean, it's probably just him and his brother, so it might not be me bikes.
Well, I mean,
I did not hear
you know,
that.
again, that's up to the club,
Yeah.
you know, to really police their course.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, we want markers up.
Because I mean, markers are one thing, but like the blue arrows and stuff like
That's
that.
markers.
Well, those ones specifically are the ones
Yeah.
that when we come on into stuff,
Yeah.
So what if the only thing put on the GPS file is the blue markers?
No.
I don't agree with half the time.
No.
Oh, it's where the blue markers are.
Then somebody go, oh, you didn't mark that right, or you
Not
missed that
down,
one, or
it's
I
like,
think
yeah,
that's
that's-
one, and
that's
that's not
that one.
one.
There's no
Yeah.
time to drive around.
Out here, I'm
on
out here, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just not.
Yeah, I mean,
Racing wise, it takes you
You
40
gotta
minutes.
be able to
Going
live, you
market
gotta be able
takes
to
4
drive the
hours
car.
To get around it.
You can't
Unless you have-
solely rely on markers.
Fill in markers.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Logistically very hard to do, and we're trying to accomplish that, we're asking in a 1 hour time frame, because our race, course clears at noon, and then we have 1 o'clock. We'll start another race, even if we waited a half hour, it's logistically so much going on, because once you start that race machine, it does not stop, you can't just, hey, I wanna go out and mark the course, cause then you guys are sitting in the cars for 45 minutes. I mean, that was the longest half hour of your life waiting for the course to get clear.
Especially when you're
So it's a good idea, it's a good
It's
thought, it's just to implement.
It's just all we're relaying is, it's just challenging to accomplish. It's not that we don't wanna market better, I mean, we have the best intentions when we go and mark these courses. Okay, this is where we think the wrong ways are gonna go. Sometimes it's difficult unless you go out there at speed and go, okay, this is.
That was gonna be my next question. Is it at speed or is it like just going around?
No, we just go around. I mean, to actually go out and try to do it at a
Race pace.
I go out, when I go out and do the final GPS thing, I'm not going to crash, but I'm
pretty good.
not going 20.
Or
You know what I
Justin,
mean?
his nephew, Justin.
Yeah, or my son Ryan, he
No one's
goes out
riding
riding
that
at
fast.
speed. I mean, he's a good rider,
He's gonna
you
give
know
us
what I mean?
feedback
Yeah.
on Friday.
Well, I know like when Ryan did it a couple times, he was like, dude, there's a couple, but there's one that's like a real.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
day ender.
We have people go out
It's
and
like,
give us feedback, but you know what? We do the best we can. A lot of that stuff does get mowed down in the motorcycle race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know of any club that goes out and says, all right, they take supplies, I'm gonna go repair something I find. Cause I usually would take somebody who set it up for the last 3 days.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, it's just different. You know, I've been out there for 3 days, my hands are sore.
Cause I know like when Mike and I, we were out at the speed limit 100, we're out there and there was like 5 stakes just laying over. We went took rocks and put it back up.
I've done that, like scoundrel rock or something.
Yeah, well, no, somebody missed,
Space
you could
them out
see the
if one's
tires where
broken.
someone missed the first turn and took out every single marker, so everybody was driving to the tower and then like turning around.
Are you seeing Good Samaritan out there?
It's real fun to turn arrows the other way too.
You got any more questions for me?
Let me check.
this one off of Twitter. Bryce Menzies wants to know.
Yeah, right.
So, this one's not for me.
You keep saying that.
This one's not for me. But can the speeds not be in the unlimited class and be in the back?
Oh. Why?
No.
Who got the last-
I got feedback. Again, it's not me, but people were saying they were having a hard time getting around and the horns. I don't know if the horns are working or what.
They were too slow.
Oh my God.
Well, they don't start
What
on
the
the
hell?
front.
Are you guys racing, or are you guys just wondering, hey guy, pull over? I mean,
Well, we can't nerf them when our horns don't work.
can you
It's
put
like-
a bypass road around this spot? I mean, what the heck? You guys are racing off road.
Bypass section.
I'm pretty sure
I mean, what?
I'm pretty sure that's not a real question.
No.
We will start them in the grade class.
I don't.
Mandatory blankets, it's under 50 degrees
Anything
for the
else?
UTV drivers. I mean, what the fuck?
Oh, yes. So, on alternate lines, we have,
I thought that was your last question.
This is my last.
You
No,
keep
this is
saying
my
that.
last question.
He keeps
Can we
saying
pave
that.
a road around all the hard stuff?
No. If we have a section of course that is a single file, impassable section,
Yes.
and we make a beeline in the driver's meeting, can we at least let us know if it's to the left or to the right, or if there is, like on Hot Nuts Knoll, there was no alternative. We had 2 cars break down in the knoll. Are we supposed to sit there? Can we find another line? Like, what can we do?
Find your own way out.
Yep, then you get penalized.
They're all these cars
You're
are
doing
full
it for
of drive,
safety,
that's what
if
just
you're not
about
safe,
anything.
then-
Not when they break the front diff and a rear axle, and the car that comes behind them has a broken front diff, and both of them
You
buried.
should probably,
I
pull-
understand that, but
they
that's
should have
it.
pulled out, or if they got that.
They should have, but.
So you're not, no,
what are we
what
supposed to
he's
do?
talking about is not the broken cars.
Not
Yeah.
the broken car.
Yeah.
These things will all go up and over anything you can get around. It's just
Well,
like
no,
made in Mexico,
we
but
did
show
it.
me watch, it happens every time. UTVs pass everybody because they can do this. Not do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that was my big argument.
I would,
That
I would
race
say
I-
within reason.
I watch cars come around the hill when I know they're all 4-wheel driving and get with.
Well, so Hot Nuts Knoll specifically, when the rocks are, your tires are touching,
So I know, I was
there's
sitting
nowhere
there
to
with
go.
him when they
Yeah.
wrecked, and I watched all the cars come around, cutting the course.
Yeah.
When there's ways around. There's always ways around. Yeah, you made it deviated a little bit, but to deviate all the way around, that's racing. That happens in Mexico, that happens in every series.
Yeah. I mean, you have to get by.
Yeah.
But if you took the flat road out here to get by, cut off a bunch of course. I mean, you should leave the course, stay as close as you can to the course, rule 1. Rule 2, leave it at the latest possible. Rule 3, get on it as soon as possible after the wreck. If you do that, you're good.
Okay.
You know, if it's really blocked and those cars aren't going anywhere, and these walls are straight up, you know, go back, get off, go back on as soon as you can. And nobody's gonna like question it.
Okay. That's my last question.
Do you mean it this time?
I mean it this time.
You keep telling me that, to get my hopes up, and you crush it, man.
Well, I can check my Instagram, there's probably much more.
No, I think we should adjourn, what do you think?
I'm fine with that.
You wanna say we think we should adjourn?
No, no.
Anybody?
Please.
A second?